4, 1, 2.
I joke, it's alright.
Welcome back, everyone. It's your host, Mike, back with Beer Addiction. It feels like it's been a while, and it has. 3 weeks since my last actual video. Last week I posted a little teaser, or what I thought would be a nice teaser, of today's drink. But before I get into that, I want to talk about something really cool. There's a new, well, at least to me, I found that there's a new Facebook page and organization called I Drink Good Beer. As you can see in my amazing t-shirt right here. I actually ordered this from them. They're really cool. They got some good stuff, like this t-shirt. And so go check them out. And because I ordered this pronto and was one of the first to do so, I also got this awesome Samuel Adams Pilsner tall glass as a bonus, and some awesome I Drink Good Beer stickers, which I'm going to save to slap onto my kegerator when that gets done later in the summer. So what we have today to drink is my first all-grain batch. It's an IPA. I wasn't sure if I wanted to tell you this, but it's actually was supposed to be a clone recipe of Dogfish Head 60 Minute. Now, it didn't turn out like that beer at all. It has similar characteristics, and I'll explain why and like what I did in the brewing process to make that happen. But it came out a lot less alcohol percentage. This one clocked in at about 4.6%, whereas Dogfish 60 is 6%. So that has to do with the fact that it was my first mashing, which means, you know, when I extract the sugars from the barley, it was the first time doing that. So there's a few things I've already learned. I've actually done 2 other batches since then. Brew in the bag, which some says is really like a partial, it's not complete mashing. I don't agree depending on the size of the batch. I mean, if you're making a barley wine that has, 16 pounds of grain, yeah, brew in a bag might not be that efficient because you're going to end up with all these clumps of grain stuck in the bag and it's not going anywhere. But with some of these lighter beers I've been doing with, maybe average of 8 pounds of grain, the brew in a bag really works. Get a good sized bag, get your, brew kettle as closest as possible to fill it up completely. You want to go full boil, that way you don't dilute it with water after. Anyways, we'll get into semantics. The point is, though, that it came out really good. I like it. Certain aspects of it are great. I've already tried it, obviously. But we're going to crack this open now. And I'm going to pour it with a nice, I'm hoping you'll like this new kind of view that I'm going to use to pour it. And we'll get some characteristic and tasting notes going on. Cool. So here we have it, kind of like similar to last week. This is a 500 milliliter bottle, and we're going to crack this open and see how it pours. One problem I was having with this last time was a little bit of a head retention issue. This is still relatively cold as well, which might, give it some different flavors when I taste it and pour a different size head, but let's see. All right, so I'm just going to pour this right in like this. Oh, the head retention doesn't look like it's going to be an issue this time. So let's pour this well. Wow, big difference from last time already. Actually looks like a great head. And I'm not going to get all of it in this style of glass, but I'm going to get the majority in. That looks great to me. I mean, that's a very nice, orange, not the red color of an IPA, but a very nice orange. Fairly clear. It does, unfortunately, have a little bit of a chill haze. I'm going to have to work on something to get rid of that. But let's bring it over and let's do some tasting notes. Okay, we had a little technical difficulties right there. But before that, I was admiring this beautiful IPA, which unfortunately doesn't have the best head retention. Although I actually said all this to the camera already before I realized it wasn't filming. But I found that this beer has a much different type head than some of my others. I don't know whether it's related to all grain or just my process is improving. But it doesn't have what I call soapy head, which I've used to describe some of my other beers, which have a very, you can see each individual bubble in the head. And from the side of the glass, it kind of looks like it would a soap buildup when you're cleaning your dishes rather than a creamy, sort of silky looking head, which I think this is a lot more what this one has. Probably has to do with the all grain, just because it's right from the grains. It's not from any sugar extract, which is from grains too, but you never know what else is in there as well. So again, like we said on the color, it's got that really kind of nice orange IPA, very dark orange, almost brown IPA look. The smell right off the bat is very florally and very citrusy. How did I get that combination? Well, that's one of the things that really this beer did take away from Dogfish 60. It didn't get the maltiness and it didn't get the alcohol content. But what it got is a really good smell. Like the aroma off this beer, by far, definitely my best homebrew aroma, and it beats a hell of a lot of craft beers out there in terms of my opinion. What I did is a process called continual hopping, where instead of adding, an ounce of hops at 60 minutes with the boil left, or at 45 minutes of boil left, or at 5 minutes, I added a small quantity of mixed hops all throughout the boil. So pretty much whenever I wanted, whether it was 5 minutes, whether it was 2 minutes, whether it was 10 minutes later, but still 60-minute boil, just at very sporadic times, however I wanted. That should be I should be able to replicate it fairly easily, just because, it was a very consistent amount that I was hopping. So I hopefully won't have a problem there, because I definitely want to replicate this beer. So yeah, so let's go in for a taste. It really, really gets that, all the characteristics from the hops, both the floral and citrus flavors really come through. I don't know if it's just the bottle I'm drinking out of or the temperature of the glass, but that last sip I had also had kind of an earthy flavor. I don't think that's an off taste. I think that's a hop characteristic, so I'll have to look into the hops that I actually use to see. I'll get back to you on that. But really, really, it's a nice flavor. It's light. You can taste that it's light. It really doesn't have a nice malty base, which I love in a beer. So that's the only thing, I'm disappointed it didn't come with this, but hell, it came a good time. Really good summer beer like this, crisp, cold outside. I am not complaining. I'm actually really looking forward to doing a review of my next two I got coming up. I got a white coming up, or a wit, whatever you want to call it. Trying to my little interpretation of a Hefeweizen and white beer meet and have a baby. And I have a brown that's coming out. I haven't thought of a name for this. By the way, the name of this beer, as for how I tried to replicate Dogfish Head 60 but didn't quite happen. So I'm calling this one Faulty Extraction IPA, which I really like. And it came out great. It's going for a mouthfeel. Yeah, the hops are just everywhere in this beer. The taste, the aroma, the color really, really comes through. That again has to do with the continual hopping, where I just added it in whenever I wanted. It allowed, like I said, flavor, aroma, bitterness. It really got in with everything there, and it produced this great beer. So I'm coming at you later with some more reviews. Hopefully from here on out, everything will be crazy. I'm hoping to go all grain. I am going all grain, but I am all grain. I'm hoping to go exclusively all grain one day. I still like making my extract batches. There's a few beers that I'm really looking forward to try that actually still have aging that are extract. One of them I'm going to do next week, so hopefully I'll have a review for you there of an Imperial IPA. Yeah, it's going to be good. And for all you ladies out there, start drinking beer if you haven't. I went out on Friday with some friends, and hearing that they didn't drink beer, it hurt. And when I asked them why, it's because, they haven't tasted a beer yet that was for them. And you know what I said? Challenge accepted. So, that's another mission for the summer. Ladies, I will make a beer that every one of you will like. Very hard promise to keep, but I will work at it, and hopefully it'll happen. So thanks for watching Beer Addiction with Mike, and I'll see you next week for another beer review. of Mike's Homebrew.
So much.
Cheers.